Alright boys, welcome back to the Ragnarok video, and the new Chandler is dropping tonight, who I thought looked pretty cool until I saw his new helmet, which yeah, that's a thing in the game now. But yeah, Chandler is quite special because not only is he one of my favorite characters, obviously as you can tell by my channel, but also because he is a step up banner. It's been a very long time since we've gotten a actual good step up. I believe the one before this was Shin, who was it's Shin, no one cares. He was bad as well. Before that, it might have been like a Matrona. They never really do good step-ups, right? So this is the first time in, I want to say in a very long time where like going all the way on a step-up is really good. And once again, 242 diamond for a new character nowadays seems so ridiculous. So we love it. The banner is... it's whatever, like, once you get a step up, you don't really care. But hey, at least Tammy's there because people still don't have him 6'6". I know personally, I just got him 6'6" on the last banner. So, yeah, it does happen. But we can talk about Chandler quickly, and then we'll talk about the big elephant in the room, and that is the new banner coming out 1 week later. Because whenever they do step ups, it's always because they plan to do something big the following week. Before we get into Chandler, bear in mind, even though he's dropping today, unless you're really broke, just wait until probably even later today, or maybe even like them tomorrow, we'll start getting teasers of what the new festival, collab, new banner, whatever it may be at the end of the month. We'll talk about in a second, but let's go through Chandler quickly. All right, so quickly for Chandler, I would say he is a pretty good character. He works, you can use him. Do you need him? Not necessarily, but once again, just the fact that he's a step up. Like, if he was a 600 diamond banner, I would have probably said skip, and that's coming from me who loves Chandler. But the fact that it's 242, you might as well get him, especially if you have some few gems left over. Especially if you're a demon main, like I feel like he's a must here. But if all allies, including the sub slot, are demons, bear in mind this guy does work in a sub slot, the damage received by demon allies will reduce by 30%, and the attack rate stats will increase by 15. Also, when you take stars, the critical resistance and critical defense of demon allies will increase by 30%. So, and he's red too, so kind of being made a little bit the counter, the obviously Escanor. Like if he's in the front, he taunts up, and when he taunts up, he gets reduced damage. It removes ultimate gauge as well. And if you have his relic, he's dealing that massive buff and all the critical resistance and damage, like it's gonna be hard to kill him. Like Escanor will struggle a little bit now. The AoE skill is pretty bad. It's an AoE drain, but you're only using it for obviously Esteros if you're still using him. Of course, obviously the new era's melee. So yeah, I mean, a very straightforward character. Once again, it's nice to see they're going back and giving characters that only got one version like Chandler. It's nice to see him come back a little bit. Still would love for them to go back and give, you know, another commandment a new color, or even to see new faces. But once again, getting our second Chandler, you know, this normal form rather than the demon one is very nice, so we do love it. All right, so it's addressed the big elephant in the room, and that is, what is the end of month banner going to be? So obviously Nagato is the one pushing, saying we might be getting a collaboration, and I'm going to say right now, I don't think we will. We'll probably find out later today actually, because I think on reset we should get the login countdown. So if we do, then we'll know we'll obviously get an actual collaboration. I'll make a video about that, but we're still going to speculate if we are going to get one. It's just right now, if we look at our, you know, past banners, we don't normally get a collaboration until the, I think, was it August? I think it is, during or after the September festival. So this isn't our usual collab spot, but then again, this year they are doing things a little differently with the fact that we did get a mid-festival with Goldfire in between festivals, and also the Tower of God collaboration releases at the end of January. So they completely changed up this actual formula and patterns we're used to. So if it's gonna happen, it could happen, but I feel like a collaboration is just a bit, I don't know, I feel like it's not gonna happen. But if it is gonna happen, let's go through what I think it could be. But if we're getting a collaboration, I feel like one I'm gonna name it off in today's video. So let's go through the first big one, or there's the first big two, and that is the ones that will come to Grand Cross at some point in the future. And that is, of course, solo leveling. After the Tower of God collaboration, we did see that Netmarble does own a game called Tower of God, which is why we got the collaboration. Is why we even got King of Fighters to begin with. They just love collaborating with their own IP and their own stuff they have made. And of course, many of you don't know and are kind of expecting at this point right now, but so leveling is going to happen at one point in the future. Shangri-La Frontier, this one I actually would really love to see in game because I actually like the anime, and also Netmarble is making another game. Also, they've done collaboration in the past as well, so Shangri-La Frontier I feel like is even more likely than, of course, solo leveling. Let's move in towards animes that do give out that IP more frequently, to the point that they're up there with AOT, with Slime, with even Overlord. Like every single gacha game that do collabs get these collaborations, and these are the last few that I've noticed that get handed out quite a lot that we have yet to get to Grand Cross. And of course, the first one is going to be Full Metal Alchemist. This is a collaboration that's been handed out quite a lot, and in fact, Netmarble's other game also recently did a collaboration with it, so I do feel like Full Metal Alchemist is actually somewhat possible in, of course, Grand Cross. The next one is one that I feel like many people are going to want, is Konosuba. is up there with Overlord, Slime, and Mushoku Tensei. Like, every single gacha game gets this. It's almost ridiculous at this point. This one is, I want to say, almost guaranteed, and I would not be surprised if it does come next. Next one is one that I'm not really familiar with, but one that I feel bad for, because almost every single teaser we get for collaborations feels like they're hinted towards this, and it never happens. But Eminence in the Shadow, this is something that I'll probably end up watching if it does come towards the game. And yeah, don't know too much about it, but a lot of people do want it. It's once again in the same situation as Isekai. They love Isekais. I think it's an Isekai. And the amount of collaborations that I've seen this anime come out with, even though it's kind of a relatively new anime, is kind of insane. Next one is Nier Automata. Of course, this one's gonna be a big popular one as well. Every single gacha, I mean, I play so many gacha games nowadays that have this collaboration, and of course I always throw this in the end, but Date Alive. Once again, there was a leak a while ago that said we were going to be getting a Date Alive collaboration. Date Alive, because I actually like the series and follow it a lot and play a lot of games because they actually do collabs with Date Alive. I know personally they do a lot of actual collaborations, and once again, it just fits the bill of what Ragnarok wants in terms of collaborations. But yeah, those are the new animes I feel like are possible. Let me know if you have any other recommendations about what you think could be coming. But let's go over, of course, the part 2s or part 3s that we could see. The first one I want to see, Slime. After what they've done with, obviously, the Shield collaboration where they went back and buffed the old characters, I'd love them to go back and buff, obviously, Demon Lord Rimuru, make him more playable. Shuna, kinda, I mean, I don't know how much they can buff her, but of course getting 2 new characters, that being, I think, almost guaranteed to be Shion, and of course the second character would make sense to be Diablo, because Shion and Diablo like kind of a mix a little bit, but it will be very upsetting not to get a Veldora, or maybe if they want to, they can even do another actual Maru in his actual like Raphael form. Personally, I would always love to see a Dragon Armor Millen in a new outfit, new armor, new outfits, new ultimate. It will be super sick. It's probably the character I want the most here, so a Slime rerun would be very, very cool, and also be the first part 3, which would be quite fitting since that was the first collaboration. Next one, actually almost finished the anime this season, but Mushoku Tensei. This is another anime that I would love to see in the game, because I imagine part 2 will be an older version of Rudius, and of course Sylviette, who didn't come for the part 1, which is quite surprising because a lot of collaborations do that. So maybe her not being added was because they planned for it to be a part 2. And once again, I would love for them to release this collaboration so they can actually buff up Ghislaine and also Roxy, who are 2 pretty good characters if they actually just got a bit more love. King of Fighters is always possible because there's so many characters in that franchise. I don't even know who they would add, but they've gotten basically all the big characters. Do they need to release another King of Fighters collaboration? No, because, well, the older characters are not that good, not like they need to be buffed up, or like, I don't know how I feel about King of Fighters. Maybe a bit biased because I just don't like this series too much, but they're always fun to play around with. I'm not gonna lie, Kyo and Terry were really, really fun, so if they do a new one, then I'm sure it's gonna be as good as well. Stranger Things is just probably not gonna return. They just don't need to. Like, it shouldn't happen in the first place. I love Stranger Things like the next person, but just don't release it again. Just keep it like how it is. So yeah, those are all I can think of right now for collaborations. I might be forgetting 1 or 2 that I think should be on the list a little bit, but generally I feel like what I named off here are like almost 90% gonna be coming true if we do get a collaboration. But let's move on to, well, if it's not collaboration, because once again I feel like it's not gonna be a collaboration, and that is the Summer Festival. So I can't find the exact wording, but I've been told by Sora and other people as well that like they kind of like phrased it as if we're gonna be getting festivals every single month, assuming we don't get like an OC banner, a Ragnarok chapter, or even an actual collaboration. Very much like how Gopher slipped in between obviously Chaos Arthur and Escanor, we may see a new festival here, which am I opposed to it? No, because, well, they actually give out a lot of damage during festivals, normally around 300, so it basically costs 600 damage anyway. The only bad thing is that you can't skip the character. Normally if it was like a dead month, you could skip and save for the new festival every 2 months, but if they're dropping one every month, then it's going to be a bit tricky. But I do feel like there are still way more deserving festival characters left in the game that deserve to be festivals, so them picking up the pace and adding in like 4 free festivals extra within a year is not the worst idea to me. I kind of like it a little bit. And Gopher was a perfect example because this is a character that didn't deserve to be the New Year banner, the Global Annie, the JP Annie. For him fitting in between them was a perfect decision, and that's something I feel like they should do for King, for example, in his Yakuza armor, one that I've been wanting for a very long time now, maybe even 10 Commandment Miel. The Endurers, who knows what they can add, but until we see them do another festival in between 2 festivals again, then I'm not going to say this is guaranteed is, so be in the looks for a Summer Festival. And the weird thing is they don't normally count down or tease it, or at least they didn't with Go Far. So like, once again, it's very weird how they're handling these like mid festivals, like where they drop in between 2 festivals. It's kind of like a festival, but not really. It's weird. I don't know how to describe it. And of course, at the end, we got to wrap it up and then talk about the 2 other series in the Grand Cross, and that is, of course, the OC storyline, which hasn't had a chapter in like a very, very long time now. Honestly, It was a disappointment. It was a massive flop. At this point, they should not waste a festival slot or even, you know, an actual end of month banner on an actual OC update. They should definitely do what they did with Fallen Apocalypse, where they drop it as a part 2. We get a story chapter for the part 2 celebration of a festival and kind of leave it as that, right? That would be the perfect time to release the OC banner. So I feel like it's not going to be an OC, but it's always possible because, once again, it hasn't returned in such a long time now. And I guess getting Subnak as a festival character wouldn't be the worst idea. I wouldn't be opposed to it either. Ragnarok hasn't happened in a while, so of course, get to a new one. And if they are following the storyline, we should see Thor or Loki next chapter, according to leaks that we got like early January. So getting a Ragnarok chapter right now wouldn't be the worst idea, but I will say I'm not leaning towards it, mainly because we did get a Ragnarok chapter or festival during September. So I feel like that's the best time, because September is like towards the end of the year. It is right before the 2 big festivals for November and December. So most people tend to skip it or like not have too much interest into it. So I do think there's a perfect slot for an actual Ragnarok festival, especially with the fact that Hell was in that slot last year. And also, we do get a collaboration the month after in August. And collaborations most of the time are unknown, so it's like kind of a good way to do an unknown Ragnarok festival, most likely for, and then to get some support later on with through like the collaborations, like how we got Obedo, and also Philo and Infinity Merlin the year prior. So it's kind of like the pattern a little bit. So I feel like we're not going to be getting a Ragnarok festival right now, and they'll save that for September. Okay, so I'm surprised I forgot to mention this, but we could also just get a 4 nights update. Once again, we got a prelude. It wasn't the first chapter, and of course they typically like to drop chapters at the end of the month, and they've already started Fallen Apocalypse, so I would not be surprised if the actual next banner is a 4 nights banner. Now, of course, it'd be a bit weird to them to drop one new character and to make a live stream about it, if they even decide to make a live stream about it. They haven't announced it just yet. But once again, episode 2 is just basically what you see right here. So we're going to get Donnie. We do get to see the Black Knight, so it's possible we could get him as a playable character. And to be fair, if they do your banner, which you haven't done in 2 years now, as a, you know, the Black Knight, of course, Donnie. I mean, if they want to make him a festival straight away, that wouldn't be the worst idea too. So yeah, be on the look for an actual 4 nights update. That's one thing I'm not seeing people suggest enough, because that is something that's definitely possible. So yeah, boys, that is kind of all my predictions and all the possible banners we could be getting for, of course, this new banner coming out in a few days time. Like I said, if we are going to get a collaboration on the next reset today, we should be able to see the countdown. And if not, then we have to wait for the new live stream to either like tease or hint or even tell us what the new festival is going to be, or if it's even like a Ragnarok or OC chapter, they'll probably spoil it in the live stream announcement. So boys, thank you for watching. Let me know what you want to see the most. Personally, myself, I think I would like to see a festival king. I think that's the one I want the most here, but would not be opposed to a new collaboration, especially a rerun if it is Slime or Sugar Tensei. That would be really, really cool. But regardless, I'm looking forward to it, because I'm not gonna lie, Grand Cross is being a hot streak of characters with Percival, Escanor, Chandler, even before that, Escanor, Gopher, Melly. There's been so much good stuff this year. Can't believe I'm saying this, but I have faith that Nemaba's going to drop a banger. So boys, thank you for watching, and yeah, peace.